of you became aware of me for the first time when YouTube first came out. And again, in 2006, most people weren't thinking that YouTube was gonna become the phenomenon. You know, tomorrow Casey's gonna talk, or the next day, I mean, people are building real businesses and brands. This was a decade ago. There wasn't a video on YouTube when I started Wine Library TV that had 1 million views yet. Not one video on the platform. So it was a small platform. Everybody thought it was stupid. There was no advertising, but it was the first time that I understood that content could drive business. I was just, you know, as some of you might remember, I just sat in front of a camera for 20 minutes at a time, drinking 4 bottles of wine, right? And hundreds of thousands of people thought that was interesting enough.
And it was at that moment that I decided, I would just say, fuck it. And I'm just gonna go back and make videos and put them on the internet. And I remember, like, my big Hollywood agent at the time was like, that's crazy, you don't do that. And when I spoke to my commercial rep, like my commercial agent, the person who like got me these really sweet jobs directing TV commercials, and I was like, I just want to make internet videos, so find me companies that will like give me money to make internet videos for them. She was like, good luck with that, Casey. And I really felt alone. And I just put my head down and I started making videos. I was not immediately successful.
And I really believe the one great piece of advice, if you want to take anything from this talk, is we have to start realizing that giving and doing things in business without expectation of return from the other individual is probably the greatest leverage that you could ever deploy in your business life, though it is extremely rare in today's business environment.
In the world of marketing, there is nothing greater than influence. There's nothing more effective than influence. And I think years ago, when TV was it, marketers could bullshit their way to convince people that their 30-second spot that aired on Tuesday nights, this many people saw and it had this much impact. And that was good enough for companies to write checks to buy that 30-second spot. But the fun and games are over.
This is not about monetizing an audience, it's about building leverage to build brand versus sales. One of the biggest things that I see going on right now in digital media is that we don't have a lot of people doing branding and marketing. We have a lot of people doing sales. The reason so many of you were confused by the value of Snapchat is because in the digital landscape, we now think transactional.
There are people today who call themselves Snapchat influencers, and they make a living doing just that. I think I heard someone laugh when I said that, but I have a friend who's a Snapchat influencer. That's all he does, and last year he made over $1 million.
Everything's about what's the ROI of every piece of content, every single action. What's the last attribution? What's the conversion rate?
The fun and games are over. The smoke and mirrors over. Now there are real quantifiable metrics. You can actually see who's paying attention to what in the most granular way. So now we can actually see like in a really tangible new way, we can see what the impact of influence actually is.
It's all become math-based, and that's fine because I love sales more than anybody. But I promise you, these fucking guys, Nike, they didn't tag me on a browser and then re-cookie me and then travel all over the internet and pound me with banner ads until I gave up and bought it. I bought it because they fucking marketed to me over the last 20 years, and I don't even fucking know why I buy it.
Definitely make this spike, but we're cutting it close. So far the trip is off to a fairly irresponsible start. And so it begins.
I had this big opportunity with Nike to make 3 videos for the launch of their new product, and I made 2 of those videos the traditional way. I submitted a treatment, they accepted the treatment, I went and executed those 2 treatments with like their big athletes. It was very exciting, it was really fun. It came time to make that 3rd video, which was the lowest budget of the 3. Kind of at the 9th hour, I was like, I don't want to make this, I'm exhausted, like I don't even like the idea, I don't want to do this. So I called my editor, and Maxie, who's also my best friend, and I was like, hey man, let's just bail on this. They already forwarded us the entire budget. Let's just blow it. let's do something I've always wanted to do, which is like show up at airports with no plane ticket and just buy a ticket wherever the next flight out is going. And let's do that till we're out of money. And he was like, oh, okay, man. Yeah, I'm hip to that, let's go. What ended up happening is we made this video that was an accident. We just executed. And we came back and we had 40 hours worth of footage and we're like, fuck, let's figure out how to turn this into something. And we made a video that had no Nike product in it. I was even wearing Nikes. All you can see in the whole video is my Patagonia jacket. I wasn't wearing the Nike product that we were hired to promote because I didn't have one the day we were leaving. And he's like, do you have a fuel bin? And I was like, forgot it. He was like, fuck it, let's go. But what ended up happening is we executed and we figured it out afterwards. And because there was so much truth in that execution, what we made was something really honest and something really true and something that really resided within the audience because of those accidental virtues. And this movie ended up being the most watched piece of content that Nike put on the internet that year. It remains one of their most watched videos they've ever put online. And I sort of attribute every job that I've gotten since making this video almost 3 years ago to this video. It always starts with like a client being like, hey, can you do for us what you did for Nike? Which like, no, are you kidding me? We almost died in Nigeria. I'm not doing that again.
So I continued on that trajectory and I committed everything I had and everything I was and everything I was doing to creating movies online. And that was 5 or 6 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 5 years ago, 520 movies ago. So I've decided, starting today, my 34th birthday, I'm going to make a movie every day. And I've been doing it every day for a year! It's a lot of movies. And in that time, there's been so much I've taken. I think that the entire landscape of media has changed wildly. I think it used to be called digital media and then online media, and now it's just called media. And the movies and the kinds of works that I put out, sometimes I call it a vlog and sometimes I call it a show. And I think at the end of the day, people have a finite amount of time, and what they commit their eyeballs to is what they like. And I think the internet's doing a really wonderful job of furthering that.
I was self-aware enough, even though I had all the opportunity in the world to build product, that I wasn't gonna be successful. 7 years ago, I went out and built a boring digital agency, right? I built something practical. All my internet friends, a lot of the people gonna be on the stage, they made fun of me. Like, why don't you go build a big company or something grand? I built what I knew I could build. I'm very proud that over the last 4 years, I've grown VaynerMedia from $3 to $100 million a year in revenue, not fucking valuation.